Thanksgiving. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Let there be happiness for all. Have you ever contemplated and reflected on the phrase thanksgiving? You give thanks, you don't accept the thanks from others. But why you accept, why you give the thanks to, and that is the message present in this Mangalacharan mantra. May there be happiness for all. Means what? Existence. It is the existence who coined this happiness, peace, love, and wisdom. And that is why we are giving, we are praying, we are wishing happiness for others. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. May there be peace for all. Peace. Peace belongs to the existence, and that existence is my real nature. So I wish peace not only for myself but for everyone. Why? Peace is existence. Normally what we do, you don't practice Mangalacharan daily, that selfishness and default mind returns to you. I can bet you. So thanksgiving is not one day, it has to be every day. Sarvesham, Sarvesham, Purnam Bhavatu. May there be completeness for all. Completeness and wholeness for all. You are living in a relationship at your home with anyone. You get upset with someone, it is not Thanksgiving. In any case, in any situation, I can bet you, it is not Thanksgiving. Giving the things, thank you. You made me upset, so I have to move into resilience, and then I will find out what is the right path. That becomes the Thanksgiving. The nature, Sarvesham, that is the fourth line that summarizes everything. That summarizes what? Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. That is the vision our masters have discovered through the Mangalacharan mantra. There are many Mangalacharan mantras. So they coined this Thanksgiving. Instead of complaining, blaming, asking, selfishness, we every day in the morning, let us commit yourself. Let us commit yourself that you should not leave this Mangalacharan on any single day. Not only single day in the morning, but all the time. All the time during the day. Open your eyes, look at the sun. If the sun is not there, we cannot exist. So Thanksgiving. Air is not there, Thanksgiving. What will happen to us? This soil is not there, so you cannot grow the plants. Thanksgiving is there. You have to expand that area. Not what Terry really meant for it. That is what, we do in Thanksgiving in USA, we overeat. So overeating is not Thanksgiving. So make this. So today's topic is the faith, the fifth treasure is very important. That we will talk about it in a little bit. So understand that Mangalacharan is all about the Thanksgiving all the time. I said definitely, I made it a routine every day. The moment, any time I wake up, the first thing is the Thanksgiving. Or you can say the Mangalacharan. Mangalacharan mantra. I have to use the intellect. Now you say, for example, you have used your intellect for Thanksgiving. That is what the Mangalacharan mantra. And sooner somebody comes and makes you crazy, you don't get crazy. These traits are required to awaken and realize yourself. Otherwise, nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to happen, I can bet you. I have to use my intellect to start the journey every day. Come what may, whatever the situation, you are in a difficult situation, you have a physical problem or mental issues or emotional or social, I have to do the Mangalacharan in the mode of a thanksgiving. Buddha always used this thanksgiving. I remember something. What is his thanksgiving? So someone abused him, and Ananda was his cousin. So Ananda asked that, why you tolerate? I tolerate my brother because he is only abusing me, he is not beating me. So I can learn a good lesson. Well, Ananda said that if he starts beating, so Buddha said that he is not killing me, he is only beating me. I had a good lesson to learn. That why he is beating me, I know the cause and I will get rid of that. And now continue. You stretch that question. If he wants to kill me. That was his non-violence. So I don't want to go into that. So the Mangalacharan, this. So what we did, what we have been practicing, understanding, is the default mind to the discerning intellect with the Mangalacharan. We have already understood and I discussed in detail. Default mind causes the problems, impulsive, instinct driven, and when we use the discerning intellect through listening and learning, we can change and there comes, you only practice, you every day 24/7, you recognize the default mind and its symptoms and you move to the discerning intellect. All the four treasures will emerge in your personality. That is what is the cognitive change. That is what I am talking about. Even if you don't know sama, dhamma, uparama and titiksha, it will enter into your life. The role of repetition in the practice, I've been telling you. Repeating again and again. If you don't follow the repetition and repeat the practice. So what is going to happen every day? I can bet you every day now I do the practice of Mangalacharan, I find something new. So today is the Thanksgiving. So I was just, I said, no, let me thank all the 5 elements by which my body is prepared, by the existence, mind, intellect, my ego, all comes from the existence. Let me thank. My intellect is accepting the Eastern wisdom. Let me thank. If the intellect does not accept, then what will happen? I will continue to suffer. I will continue to be in pain. Just think of it. So emerging, these sama, dhamma, titiksha, and sama, dhamma, titiksha, and uparama emerges from moving the mind from ignorance to wisdom, or you can say from delusion to wisdom, or you can say default mind to a discerning intellect. So I have to remember. So we already understand, I believe, you still keep in your head what is sama, inner calm, what is dhamma, external calm, what is uparama. Third, treasure changes your daily life and living. Fourth, titiksha, we discussed. Wisdom of titiksha, endurance, resilience, equanimity. We discussed the three aspects of the titiksha. These are the very preliminary understanding. As we move deeper, we will understand. Now, question the fifth treasure is faith. Not belief. Belief comes first in the beginning, then comes the faith, then comes the trust. So we will just have some ideas and understanding about it. So question comes, why the faith is placed after the four treasures? Can you guess? Can you think in your mind? Your mind is already in anxiety. You have a reaction against your honey. How can you have a faith? So there must be an inner calm. There must be an external calm. Before you believe something, there must be an uparama. There must be a titiksha. Normally, we think there must be first the faith, and then comes the sama, dhamma, and uparama. No. As a seeker, first I cultivate the mental calm, control of the senses, dhamma, ability to withdraw from the distractions, uparama, and then I practice endurance and resilience. That begins then only. Otherwise, what happens? Today I don't want to tell you the story with my real life story with one guy. That I will keep it for Monday. Otherwise, what happens? I don't show you any magic. I don't give you any blessing. Your mind will be directed, attracted, mesmerized with those magic things in the religion, cult, and dogma. Because you don't follow sama, dhamma, uparama, and titiksha, you will say, okay, let us go at least once and see what magic. Oh, he shows me the light. He will help me to communicate with the God. We already know all those stuff. So when you don't have a sama, dhamma, uparama, and titiksha, your mind is driven by those tricks. And we already know in the world, people have attracted millions. So that is why Master says, no, first you cultivate these four treasures, then the fifth one is the faith. Cultivating these disciplines purifies, stabilizes the mind, making it a fit instrument for the faith to start. Otherwise, the faith can remain superficial, easily shaken by the sensory disturbances, your past memories, your reactivity, your impatience. Shraddha, or the faith, is a catalyst for wisdom. Once the mind is calm, senses are managed, seeker is mentally tough, then you can have an unwavering faith to discover the real self. Before that, we cannot. I believe you. What does it mean, I believe you? What is the meaning? I believe you. Think of it. I told you, Eastern wisdom, respect, loves. Do you remember? Intellect. Intellect means knowledge, understanding, awareness, cognitive change. So there is a ladder of the faith. It begins, ladder of the faith starts with Sama, Dhamma, Uparama, Titikcha. If we don't have that, you will get upset with your honey on a small issues. Your faith is gone. What kind of a faith you have? Sama, Dhamma, Uparama, Titikcha. Think of it. Think. I am not saying that you just believe. I am saying think. 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 So let us understand, belief is accepting an idea is true. I told you that there is a real self and there is a false I. So as long as you are suffering from anxiety, stress, duality, it is your false I is working in you. But the moment you find the real I, you will move into the peace, happiness. This is just a belief, it's an idea. But I have to work on this idea. That is the meaning, faith pending inquiry. We have to inquire. How? By intellect. And you inquire, or you do the practice. Say, for example, you do the meditation practice and you experience the calmness and peace, which is not dependent on anything outside. Faith will come. Normally, where is the real self? Can you show me? Can you prove it? This doesn't work. Now you have to prepare. You have to follow Samadhamma, Uparama, and Titikcha. Then only we reach there. So pay attention. Belief is accepting an idea as a thought, or simple you can say it is a principle. Principle of the Eastern wisdom. Default mind. Wisdom. Default mind discerning into it. It's an idea. The moment you start working on it, faith pending inquiry, by repetition, by practice, you start getting an experience. One experience, faith. Second experience, faith. You repeat it until you reach to a point, peace is my essential nature. What is the third point? It is the trust. And normally say, I trust you. How dare you trust me, right? I'm a spiritual guy, I'm not a religious guy. It doesn't work that. In Eastern wisdom, it doesn't work. So we have to move from the belief, let me listen carefully, the principles of Eastern wisdom, let me work on it logically and rationally by contemplation, reflection, and practice. Let the practice give me a conscious, direct experience. Repeat that experience until it is stable. Stable means that I have discovered the peace is my essential nature. Finished. Did you get it? Say yes. Even if you didn't get it, you can study, you can listen to it again. So belief is the seed, faith is the root, trust is the fruit. I've been attending your session for the last 5 years. It doesn't make any difference. Did you make any progress? That means that you have moved from belief to the faith to the trust. Nothing happened. I have been attending the session for the last 6 years. Because of your lack, because you did not apply these principles in your daily life. It is not my fault, it is your fault. something great happens. When you follow the system, that is what our masters have been saying directly or indirectly. Listening and learning, contemplation, reflection, practice and experience. Check that you change in your emotion, behavior, and attitude. Then you see that cognitive change, cognitive understanding, changes in the thought, speech, and action in your daily life. The life has changed. What is the whole process? Can you guess? You move from the doubt to the certainty that yes, peace is within me. Why I am sticking to this Eastern wisdom for the last, now it has been, how much? 45 years. Am I crazy? Why? Why I left the modern psychology? Why I left the counseling? Doubt to certainty. Process, belief, faith, trust. Before that, I have to follow samadhama uparama and titiksha. My mind is calm, external calm, internal calm, and I have a level of resilience to undergo even if there is challenges in the journey of the Eastern wisdom, to find out, to have a direct experience. If I don't have a direct experience, it doesn't work. What I said, believe. Just take it in a very logical way. Believe, it is a mental yes to a statement or an idea, otherwise called the principles in Eastern wisdom, or principles in physics, or in chemistry, or in biology. Yeah, you accept it as true or real, but I have to work on it, often without needing full proof. That is what the belief is. It can be tentative, it can change with the new information. Belief, and may or may not shape behavior strongly. The belief does not change. No, I believe you. Honey, I believe you. Next day you divorce. That is your belief. So it demands the faith, a strong and often enduring conviction or reliance that goes beyond mere ideas. I have to I have to use the reasoning. What points you are mentioning in order to have a faith, for example, of the real self. For the last 5 years, I have already given you all those belief pending inquiry ideas and the thoughts. But by repeat practice, you have a direct experience and you repeat it until your mind says, yes, peace is already within. You have a spark within you. You have a spark in the intellect, and that tells the mind, don't change it. Peace is within you. That is the trust. Confidence, dependence on a person, on a process, on a principle. That is what it is. Belief. Oh, this bridge is said to be safe. The engineers tested it, so it's probably fine. It's probably fine. You mentally accept its safety but might still feel nervous. In belief, doubt belief. In faith, you walk onto the bridge despite your anxiety because you rely on its design and people who build it. Even though you cannot personally test every cable. Clear? Later in a storm, you drive your whole family across the same bridge without hesitation. That is your trust. Repeated safe crossing have built a settled confidence in it. You see the process? Belief, faith, trust. First time I met my master, I said, this looks crazy guy, He says, I'm just, peace is my nature. How can peace be your essential nature? It took me 2 years to have a faith in him. Another 2 years to have trust. And once I have a trust, I have surrendered him, myself to him. Finished. Now there are no more questions. How the Eastern wisdom works? Belief example. Our texts are there, thousands of texts, 10,000 years of tradition. Principles are there. What they say? Only one thing they say. There is a deeper reality behind your false I in you. Do you agree? If you agree, you start the journey. Your belief is shaken. Next day, you have a conflict with your mom or dad or honey, and your belief is shaken. How the God has given me the illness to my relations. You are about the God. Belief. It starts only with one belief that there is a deeper reality behind what I see through my sense organs, behind what I see through my understand through the mind. Does it make a sense? And then the faith, you begin to meditate, you pray, you do the Mangalacharan practice, you contemplate and reflect. Faith part has come. Regularly, without faith, you have a direct experience of the calmness within. Let us start. Sama within, Dhamma, Uparati, Titiksha, you can guess. And out of which you find something. I told you, later in the storm, you drive your whole family across the same bridge. What is that trust? Come what may, whatever the situation I am in, peace and happiness are within me. Whatever the challenges that I have, I will face these challenges with the peace and happiness, love and wisdom. That is the trust. You naturally lean on that reality. Naturally lean. In the beginning you had a doubt, but now you naturally lean on that reality, letting it guide decisions and calm my fears and anxiety. If you have done it in these 6 years, you are lucky. If not done, you have to go a long way. So, yes, that is all for. I did the gossip. Now it's your turn. Yes, Stephen, what gossip you have in your mind?
Thank you, sir. I find it very interesting. What I was thinking about during this lesson was the going back to the beginning, and I think that we all showed up day one with a belief, and
yes.
Of whatever we were looking for. We didn't know. Most of us probably didn't know that peace, truth, love, and wisdom, and the real self. And you introduced that from day one, and it was our belief. And now we've gone through all of these lessons, applications, practices, and we've gotten to a point now to where in a very methodical manner, we now accept and realize the four previous treasures, and with all the practice that we're doing, with all the cycles we go through, with the acceptance of those four treasures, we're now at the point that we have the faith in what we are doing. And the journey to the real self is, for lack of a better term, it's real. And I think that's why we're all still here. And the cycle of the belief to faith to trust is the next stage of seeing the I don't want to call it the end, but to that final point of real self is the prominent part. The discerning intellect is how we live, and peace, truth, love, wisdom is within us all the time. So thank you.
Beautifully summarized. Once you have a trust, even 1% of the trust, after completing the 6 treasures, the real journey starts. Oh, even after 5 years? Yes, because it took 5 years for us. Janice, you have to say something.
Some thoughts on Thanksgiving. I think that giving thanks is a way to move into humility. Because when I express my gratitude to someone, consciously, not automatically, I recognize the role of that person or object in my own well-being. I recognize that my life or my success in life may not have been possible without that person or object. And I recognize that my body-mind complex is not self-sufficient. It depends on so many things, objects, people, and I'm grateful to all of them. And this is what helps taming my ego and moving to humility. And regarding the faith, I think the 4 treasures, previous 4 treasures, Samadha, Malparama, and Pratiksha, don't allow faith to become blind faith.
Yes.
And don't allow faith to become dependent on anything outside. Because if the faith depends on any external object, the person, event, or anything that constantly changes, that kind of faith would also be unstable and changing. I think that the faith we are talking about relies on my own discernment, logic, reason, and experiences, with the simultaneous understanding that I don't know everything. I understand that my knowledge is not final, it is not complete. But still, I believe that there is a complete knowledge out there. And this belief or this faith is what motivates me to continue the path, to continue learning.
Beautifully, you summarized totally in a different way. Take one example. I'm using I recognize honey's reaction to me. Example, I'm taking it my level. I recognize the reaction of the honey to me taught me titiksha, resilience, that I used with a partner in the business to succeed. Did you understand? Hence, I thank to my honey. Did you understand it? Because you taught me to be in resilience. That is another point of Thanksgiving. And Dennis, talked about the blind faith. We have to listen to it. No blind faith. If you have a blind faith, your mind is attracted to the supernatural stuff in religion, cult, dogma, and the spirituality, and you will never reach to it. One thing is very sure, that you will never reach to the height. Why? You believe in the supernatural powers of me. You have nothing. I showed you, I demonstrated you, for example, but you have nothing. You remain empty handed. That is what is happening. It happened every time. Every, uh, even 500 years ago, those things used to happen. And now it is happening, so it's not a big deal. Yes, David and Jerry.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to us Americans. Yeah, it's interesting kind of culmination of Stephen and Dennis's points. And your metaphor of the bridge is why wouldn't we trust this journey? There's been no logic to tell us not to. There's been no experience to tell us not to. It's the longest living thing probably that we have as human beings, is this knowledge that's been passed on for thousands of years. A bridge is 100 years old or 50 years old or whatever, but this is thousands, and it's proven, and it's been articulated, and it's been passed down. And it's, from my own experience, I've been really testing it lately, and the experience of that testing, whether it be awareness or resilience or what have you, and it works, and the more it works, the more we want. And so I'm so excited to be on this journey, and there's no end. This is just a complete journey. You're on a journey, and all of us look at you and go, you're there, but you're not there. You're on a journey that continues on till the body leaves your consciousness. So thank you.
Beautifully. So it is the trust. We build the trust. Now you have built the trust. For example, that spark of the trust can be used in our personal, professional, social life. Sometimes people refuse me and I say, no, I trust you. Please do it. They react to it and I say, please do it. I trust you. Because I have a trust in myself. And people succumb to that pressure and they do it. I have seen many times. So it changes your outlook, perspective towards the life. Yes, Jerry.
Thank you, sir. What resonated for me was the gratitude, and I've always been, since I was very young, a person that was thankful for the difficult times and the losses and the pain, because I felt like it taught me the most and helped me evolve. And so every situation that arises, I always like to look at what the silver lining is. And truly be grateful for that, because that's what helped me grow, whether it was a relationship or any experience. And then secondly, that not bearing it allows us, this whole journey allows us to see clearly without any rose-colored glasses exactly what is. And be okay with what it is, and even more than that, shine with every situation. So with the joyous ones as well as the painful ones, we find a way to shine. And we really just know how to do that when we have this faith. It's all there. The tools are there.
Beautifully said. What can I summarize in that way? Start with what is, and then build a trust. And in order to build a trust, we have to start with the belief, and then the faith, and then the trust. That is the crux of this entire journey. Yes, Christina, you have to say something. Others have not joined because, they are in Thanksgiving. Okay, yes. Christina.
Thank you again. I'm so appreciative for our group and every one of you in our journey together. I was just thinking about when we go through a difficult time or something unexpected, and it resolves, and being able to, like Jury said, to look back and see, you can see the purpose and all that. I think the hardest time can be in the middle of it, what can seem unsettling, and to have the faith that the same thing is going to happen. There's going to be a point at which you'll be able to make meaning out of it or see the purpose of it in the long run.
Yes, in times of frustration, failures, fears, anxiety, reaction, it happened. Now you sit down. Start with the faith. Means belief pending inquiry. Faith is nothing but the belief. Let me inquire what happened, what caused me. And I gave you an example that you recognize the reaction of the honey that taught you a lesson of resilience that you use with a partner in your business and you succeed. So one event took place here and that helped you to succeed there. It is your choice. How are you, Barbara?
I'm good, thank you. I understand why faith and belief was mentioned or taught after Samadhamma, Upanishad, and Tatincha, because you have to, faith and belief could be a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
And you have to approach it with a cleansed mind. And if you bring into your emotions and your past into faith and into belief, it can only distort it.
Beautifully said. You see that? That is why Samadhamma Uparama Titiksha are required. First, I have to prepare the mind what to believe, where to believe, when to believe, and how to start the journey. If I don't have those understanding clear and mind is confused, it will not work. Vaibhav.
Thank you, sir, and happy Thanksgiving to all of you. So, sir, today's lesson, sir, it's like that the faith is kept in the fixed state because like it realizes us that what are our capability first, like in Samadhamma, the picture of that what are our capabilities, and we are aware, which we are not aware of in general, but we use it. But now it comes to our awareness, and then the faith comes. So we are not dependent on the outside situations, but using this our capabilities to build a trust inside, and we are now not dependent on things outside.
Yes, at a psychological level, at the mental and the emotional level, we build that trust in ourselves. Why we build the trust in ourselves? Because there is the real self, which is all pervading, which is all powerful, which is full of peace and happiness. I need not to depend on anything outside. It leads to a self-reliance, I don't want to go into the self-confidence. You can use the term self-confidence. There is already a self-confidence in any situation. Terry, you want to say something before overeating? You have to unmute it, yeah.
I'm not sure how this relates, but I feel like at a younger age, or at a young age, I knew more than I know now.
Really?
Well, I feel like I was never, the world never made any sense to me. And I think I intuitively was meditating on these ideas, but I didn't have a vocabulary
Yeah, yeah,
for it.
yeah, it will come. Gradually and progressively you will understand, and then it becomes natural flow. Then you can talk about it because it comes when you have a direct experience. Let us start our journey. The stage one: place, position, and posture. So you become aware. You start with the belief pending inquiry. So you start with an experience of, oh, let me experience. You know, in the faith, you should have a direct experience. You are aware of the place, position, and posture. You're moving the mind from the top to the toes, touching the skin of the entire body and experiencing sensation, comfort, and steadiness. We rely too much on our experience. So we are moving from one experience to the other. And in that mode of sensation, comfort, and steadiness, you enter into being carefree. You just start watching and feeling and knowing that thought, feeling, emotions are separate from you. So, it's a direct experience. You see, yes, they are separate from me. So, it is a direct experience. So, what happens? The sama comes on automatically, the dhamma is already there. It is hidden inside. That is why we say these are the 6 inner treasures of the mind. So you're doing the practice on one hand, you don't even think of the sama, dhamma, uparama, and you reveal it. That is how our masters worked on it. And then they created these principles, and now in that state, sarvesham swastir bhavatu. You see, that is why I gave you the mantra after place, position, posture, being comfortable, being carefree. So you get a glimpse of sama, dhamma, and uparama by the first, and that is why. Now you will understand why I create the practices based on these principles. So, sarvesham swastir bhavatu, sarvesham shantir bhavatu, sarvesham purnam bhavatu, sarvesham mangalam bhavatu. We'll move to the second stage. I'm skipping the other steps. We will also do the longer practice one day more. So the stage 2, when in the state of place, position, posture, sensation, comfort, and steadiness, and you are separate from all your experiences, including the thoughts. You look deep inside the forehead in the space and start breathing long, deep, and hissing breath into your chest. Long, deep, and hissing breath into your chest. So you know all those steps. You're making an effort to joy of doing it. A total expansion and contraction of the entire rib cage. You inhale and expand your rib cage, and you squeeze your rib cage while breathing out, but focus your attention, awareness. Why? Simple, that we want to move the mind within. We don't want to keep the mind outside. Continue. So those people, who uses their ego who uses their ego to keep their mind outside, what happens? Hallucinations. We will talk in detail about those stuff. So we have nothing to do with any kind of hallucinations, etc. Continue breathing long, deep in the hissing breath. So because I stress on keeping your mind looking deep inside yourself, deep inside yourself, is mind seems to be empty. Mind goes deep inside. It rises in awareness, but when it remains outside because of unripe ego and the thoughts, then we don't bring a fundamental change in our life. Continue inhaling and exhaling deep, long in the hissing breath. And leave it. We are entering into the stage 3 with the flow. You become aware of the breath, the flow of the breath. We also discussed, you see that we are growing the meditation practice also. We are evolving. So just the flow of the breath with if your flow is equal in both the nostrils, is a wonderful state. You may not experience the deeper state, but because the flow of the breath is equal, you make it sure that definitely that mind wants to go deeper. That is the point. And now you see that I introduced the 3 aspects. The breath is dynamic because it is constantly moving in and out. And on that breath, you drop the mantra Om Shanti. So on the dynamic mode, you are dropping Om Shanti. So you take the mind along with you. If I say, yeah? You take the mind along with the breath moving in and out. Why? It is another level of, it helps you to rise in awareness. Or you can say it helps you to go deeper. Many language it can be, many expressions can be given. And you may experience it kind of self-absorption starts from here. You are simply dropping Om Shanti on the incoming and the outgoing breath, and you feel a sense, you may feel a sense of lightness or stiffness or steadiness, complete stillness in the body. Sometimes we feel extremely cold and the hot. Besides, independent of the temperature outside, those experiences helps us to uh, understand how the mind can go deeper. In what way? And now you can drop the Om Shanti on a static 16 segments of the fingers. Now these 16 segments are static, they are not moving. And so it means your mind has to pick up. Om Shanti on 16 segments of fingers, please continue. We are still in the stage 3 until we transition into stage 4, dropping Om Shanti on the triangle. So let us continue with the 16 segments of the fingers. So you can also follow these 3 steps of dropping Om Shanti on the breath, on the 16 segments of fingers, and on the triangle. Maybe 10 minutes each directly, and then see what happens. I'm so confident that if you do it, you have a direct experience. That's what I'm saying, that you just do it and see what happens. You will find the previous experiences of place, position, posture, sensation, comfort, and steadiness, sensation, relaxation, and stillness, knower and the known. They continue to live with you. It is not that you have left it. The moment you leave it, it will be unconscious. It will be laziness. It will be a lack of awareness. And now move the mind inside your heart. Visualize the triangle, pointing upward, dropping Om Shanti on each side of a triangle, moving the mind clockwise and anti-clockwise. To see and check if you are able to synchronize the movement of the mind clockwise and anti-clockwise. If there is a synchronization, obviously, it is just before this self-absorption. And when you experience that it is the sinking, you sing mentally, pushing the mind deep inside the cave of your heart. You have left the triangle. And mind seems to stop. You drop Shanti. You transition into the stage 4. Every stage is very interesting, and we know we are conscious of it. That makes a tremendous change in your that leads to direct experience. Please continue to remain absorbed, if I use the word, and you may have lot of vision in colors, you may see simply the emptiness, both are okay. Or you may have some visions in colors, it's also okay. And we can chant together loudly or mentally. You can do it with me. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms gently and place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms and stay there. You have opened your eyes inside the palms, and now the intellect is active. Let us see what happened, how you gather your experiences, and then slowly bring your hands down. We'll share with you. So, how are you, Dennis?
Deep and peaceful meditation, dark space, the infinite dark space was there, and I was just observing my thoughts, experiences at a distance. Thank you.
Beautiful. How are you, Stephen?
Good, sir. Thank you. I would say I was a complete observer during this meditation. What stood out to me was at the beginning, I was watching everything from the outside in, and there was a point that it was it was right before you made the statement of getting the mind to go from the outside in, and I actually realized that I was looking from the outside in. I wanted to look inside out, and it all came inside. And right before you said that you might be feeling moments of being cold, I was freezing. I observed body temperature change right before you said that. And then the other thing that stood out to me was the when we went to the triangle. The triangle again. It started in my chest, and then I realized from the observation that I was sitting inside the triangle, and there was just a sense of warmth, and I just watched it and enjoyed it and got this feeling or illumination of just absolute peace and happiness. So again, thank you.
Beautiful. All those experiences points out the deeper understanding and deeper recognition of the changes that is taking place. Sometimes we have a freezing and sometimes we have extremely hot experiences in the body. They are the movement of the prana, outside or inside. We'll be talking in detail about it as we progress into the higher stages. How are you, Barbara?
I'm very good. It was very peaceful and very deep, and I also felt very cold for a while, but then that went away, and I just felt comfort.
Yeah. So, which one to believe? If you believe the winter that gives you the chilling effect in the body, and also the chilling during the meditation, which of these two experiences are real or nothing is real? All experiences sometimes are deluded. We will talk about it. David and Jerry.
Thank you. Very deep, very quiet, lots of space to allow awareness. I was intrigued by the applying the Shanti, Om Shanti to the dynamic breath versus the static japa intrigued me. So thank you.
Yeah. We will understand. Your mind will pick up, your intellect will pick up the direct experiences of these three stages. Oh, this is the way I can take over the mind. That is what we are learning step by step. Jerry.
Thank you, sir. My mind was completely absorbed, just observing and noticing what was going on, but no effect. The stillness was there.
Beautiful experience. Christina.
Thank you. Then I noticed my mind trailing off, and then a sense of catching it, and almost like that's the faith in knowing we have choice in once we become aware, right, of where to turn the mind to.
Yeah, even the contemplation can continue during the practice of meditation, so don't worry about it. Contemplation reaches the climax, the thought stops. How are you, Weber?
Thank you, sir. So during the practice, there was a physical tiredness in the body, but I was kind of aware and let it be like it's just an experience, and be aware about it and just don't fall into sleep and just continue with the practice.
Yes. If the intellect affirms, no, I'm not going to sleep, tiredness versus the sleep and awareness, you can change it. That is how you change. Yes, Terry.
Um, just awareness of trying to understand where the mind is.
Yeah.
Wow. It doesn't seem longer to me, though.
Yeah, that means that you did the practice correctly. Yes, that is a very vital question. We all have to think about it, where the mind is located, or simply where the awareness is located. Just think and contemplate. If you say that it is located inside my forehead, at the same time you are also aware of your big toe, so your that is also, it means that it is located there also. If you say it is located in the heart, so you are also aware of your hands, where the awareness is located. We will talk about it. That's all. Thank you. That is all for today. Happy Thanksgiving to all.
That's the thing.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Namaste.